Fundamental concepts of marketing. Discover the timeless essence of marketing in our latest video, Principles of the Modern Marketing Concept. Marketing is more than just buying and selling, it's a universal process that has existed since the beginning of humanity, taking many forms. From politicians promoting their programs to voters, to children persuading parents for toys or sweets, to managers showcasing employees' skills for career advancement, marketing is everywhere. In this video, we break down the modern marketing concept, its core principles, and how organizations can leverage consumer needs, desires, and satisfaction to achieve success. Whether you are a business owner, marketer, student, or curious learner, this video will provide practical insights into strategic marketing, consumer behavior, and value creation. The contents. Is marketing a science, an art, or a skill? General definition of marketing. Stages in the emergence of marketing practices. Evolutionary development of the marketing concept. Modern understanding of marketing's primary objective. Fundamental concepts of marketing. Principles underpinning the contemporary marketing concept. Innate talent, personal aptitude, and the scientific method. Is marketing a science, an art, or a skill? The art of marketing must embody the practitioner's individual proficiency, drawing upon both inherent talent and personal aptitude, as well as the practical principles of the profession, which ought to be continually refined through a rigorous, scientific approach to research, analysis, and critical thought. General definition of marketing. Marketing is a constellation of activities undertaken by individuals and organizations to facilitate and expedite the exchange of products or services within both domestic and international markets. It is a systematic process through which the sale of a product or service is conceived and executed, encompassing pricing, followed by advertising and promotion, and culminating in distribution with the aim of fostering exchanges that serve the objectives of commercial enterprises and the broader interests of society. Stages in the emergence of marketing practices. Production era. The advent of the Industrial Revolution in the 17th century ushered in what came to be known as the production era, which endured until the late 1920s. During this period, the prevailing doctrine was the so-called Say's law, which posits that supply generates its own demand. Consequently, markets across nations were dominated by sellers, as demand for goods consistently outstripped supply. Firms, therefore, concentrated their efforts on manufacturing, striving to devise methods and mechanisms to produce goods more rapidly, more efficiently, and at lower cost. Sales era. What came to be known as the sales era emerged in the late 1920s and endured until the mid-1950s. The global economic depression that struck at the close of the 1920s demonstrated that the mere manufacture and production of goods were insufficient. Rather, firms were compelled to devise effective means of selling their products. To overcome this challenge, companies were obliged to render their production processes more efficient, thereby paving the way for intensified competition among firms and their offerings. By the close of this era, manufacturers had grown increasingly convinced that the success of their enterprises hinged upon achieving a decisive competitive advantage. Marketing era. By the early 1950s, companies began to recognize that they would inevitably falter if they failed to satisfy the needs and desires of customers and consumers. Thus, the marketing era emerged in the mid-1950s, marking the first time firms explicitly acknowledged the paramount importance of consumer needs and wants in the exchange process between buyer and seller. This period signaled a decisive shift toward a customer-centric orientation, as organizations prioritized marketing over mere selling, and embraced the concept of integrated marketing management, guided by the dual objective of fulfilling customer needs while achieving profitability. Evolutionary development of the marketing concept. Product or service-oriented approach. The availability of consumers' purchasing power directed toward products or services already present in the marketplace. Product or service enhancement orientation. The refinement of quality specifications, or performance attributes of a product or service, accompanied by the advancement of distribution channels. Sales enhancement orientation. The expansion of sales volume through the improvement of selling techniques, and the adoption of sophisticated promotional and advertising strategies. Modern marketing system orientation. A concentrated emphasis on the needs and desires of consumers and the market, alongside heightened competitiveness, and the continual enhancement of quality and performance. Societal marketing concept orientation. A focus on consumer and market needs and aspirations, coupled with the delivery of superior value, and a conscientious commitment to societal well-being. Modern conception of marketing's primary objective: to discern the desires and needs of consumers for goods and services, and to endeavor to satisfy and fulfill these needs, through the most effective and refined means available. Fundamental concepts of marketing. Fulfillment of consumers' desires, needs, and demands. Provision of products and services to the consumer. Enhancement of the value of products and services, improving their quality, and satisfying consumer desires. Expansion of exchange and financial transactions, and the establishment of commercial relationships. Supplying markets with their required goods and services. Principles of the modern marketing concept. Marketing should be regarded as an added value to the organization, serving as its foremost foundation. The primary objective of the organization is to attract consumers to its products or services. Fulfilling desires and needs constitutes one of the most crucial factors in drawing consumers. It is the organization's responsibility to identify consumer desires and needs and ensure their fulfillment. The achievement of these desires and needs can only be realized through the collaborative efforts of the organization's various departments.